came in as soon as I got your word, Tom.
We've been waiting, but we're all here now.
What's the meeting called for?
Things have reached a point where we've got to start action of some sort, Dick. Now, we all know, ever since we elected Steve Kinney sheriff, outlaws have moved in and just about taken over Oak Bluff. It's too tough a job for us to handle. So I've sent for help. That's why I called you gentlemen here tonight. Boys, we've got a surprise up our sleeve for Steve Kinney. And he's due to get here any minute now.
Fuzzy, you ride into Oak Bluffs and look the situation over. I'll get the dope from Tom.
I'll know who's who and what's what when you get in.
Well, be careful.
You know me better than that, Rocky. I never took a chance in my life.
Well, Tom, let's get down to cases. What are we up against?
No man's life or property is safe since we elected a smooth talker named Steve Kinney, sheriff of Oak Bluff.
Steve Kinney.
Yeah. Now, we don't know for sure that he's in cahoots with these outlaws, but he doesn't do anything to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, boys, the law pays off pretty well when you know how to work it.
A bunch of ranchers are holding a secret meeting. They just brought in the Lone Rider.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I was at the meeting when he arrived.
Looks like our happy days are over. That's all right. I'm all set to move into Kingston. We'll clean up the town and disappear before they can make a move.
The only way I can see to restore law and order is for you to...
Hey, they're turning the town upside down. They're shaking it apart.
Did you try and stop them?
Are you kidding? Hey, they tore the jail down. They blew up the bank, and
Come on. Well, it's just as I thought. We're too late. Your sheriff, Steve Kinney, has resigned. I remember him now. He's played the same game before. He comes into a town, gets himself elected sheriff, then loots the country and disappears. He'll try the same thing again. It's up to us to figure out what town he'll pick on next.
How about Sweetwater?
No, he wouldn't find that town worth bothering with. Fuzzy, it looks like you and I've got some tall traveling to do in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I got word from Rocky to meet him in Kingston. You know, whenever he's got a tough job to do, he generally sends for me.
You're sort of terrific, aren't you?
Don't like to brag about myself, but me and Cameron have tamed some of the toughest hombres that ever straddled a horse.
Must be wonderful to be so brave and modest and handsome.
Stage is right on time. Nice of Hank not to keep us waiting. I don't like this business carrying off women. It'll stir up the whole country. Suppose you let Steve Kinney worry about that. He's handling this jamboree. You know, we're the ones that'll hang for it if they catch up with us.
I'd feel much safer if you'd leave the shooting to them.
I reckon I'll learn how to ride this critter someday.
Get up there and take over.
Well, give me your gun.
Well,
Don't argue.
well, oh, here.
Getting too close to town. We'll have to let him go.
Well, how are you, Dan? You expecting someone on the stage?
Hello, Steve. Yes, my daughter's coming home. She's been visiting her aunt in Kansas City. Bandits have been pretty busy around here of late. I'm a little worried about her.
Yeah, it's plain enough from the way things are going that we need a new sheriff. And if you'd give me your support, there'd be no doubt about me being elected.
I have nothing against you, Steve, but you're pretty much of a stranger around here.
Well, I admit I haven't been here long, but I like the town. I'm in business here, and I hope to stay in Kingston. Dave Barstow's asking you to re-elect him sheriff, but as far as I can see, he hasn't done much of a job. I'd like a chance to prove that I can do it better.
Here comes the stage. Well, there's something wrong. There's a stranger driving.
Hey, give me a hand with this here driver. He's been hurt.
We were almost held up, Dad. This man brought us through.
Well, I'm mighty grateful to you.
Shucks. There ain't nothing to talk about. May I have my gun back?
I'll get it for you.
I'm plumb sorry I didn't get them reptiles. But I seen one of them just as plain as I see you, and I'll recognize them if I ever see them again.
If you can do that, we may get somewhere in our fight against those outlaws.
Stomping out outlaws is just plain duck soup for me and my partner.
I'm eternally grateful to you. And I'd take it as a favor if you'd make your home at my place while you're in this part of the country.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Rick. Joe and Bart bungled the job they were supposed to do. Take a look out there.
You two go on out the ranch. I still have some business to take care of here in town.
That fellow with the whiskers claims he can identify one of the men that tried to hold up the stage.
That can be taken care of.
Then you'd better get busy and take care of it.
I told you to meet me, but I wasn't in such a big hurry that you had to jump out of the buckboard.
Who jumped out of what? Do you think I'd chance breaking my neck just to keep you from waiting?
That was the bravest act I ever saw. You deliberately risked your life to be sure that I escaped.
Oh, shucks. I wouldn't say that.
Oh, Fuzzy's such a reckless daredevil. He doesn't think anything of taking a chance like that.
Oh, Miss Curley, I want you to meet my friend, Rocky Cameron.
How do you do?
You mean the man who helped you capture all those outlaws?
Nothing else but.
Oh, Fuzzy doesn't really need my help. He just lets me tag along once in a while.
I'll see you in town. I'm taking Miss Curley home.
We're almost to the ranch now. Won't you join us?
I'd be glad to. Fuzzy, you take my horse and ride guard. Then I know we'll be safe.
Yeah, I'll do that. Some of these days, you're going to be an orphan.
paid well. I would have got him if that lone rider hadn't have showed up.
A lone rider? What's he doing here?
I didn't stop to inquire. Everything's been in a mess since you tried to grab that Kirby gal.
Well, everything would have been all right if these two hadn't bungled the job. I could have used her to get rid of Dave Barstow and to force Dan Kirby to back me for sheriff. That would have made my election a sure thing.
You've still got a good chance of being elected?
I know that, but I like a sure thing. Now, with me sheriff, we could go through this county like a swarm of grasshoppers. There wouldn't be nothing left worth taking. Joe, you'd better stay out of town for a few days. Now, we've got to figure out a way of getting rid of the lone rider. I'm not going to run away from him again.
Gail, do you know Steve Kinney?
Not very well. He hasn't been here very long.
Well, I just learned that he was in business here.
Is he a friend of yours?
I should say not. There's a man that should be in the penitentiary.
Oh, that's hard to believe. He seems to be very well liked by everyone who knows him.
Yes, I know. Steve's a pretty smooth worker, and he wants to be.
Here's a fellow that can help you spot one of those bandits.
I'd be grateful for any help you can give me. You know, things have gotten so tough around here lately that I don't mind admitting they got me pretty worried.
Well, you can count on me.
Where's Gail?
Oh, she's in the house lollygagging around with that Rocky Cameron. I don't know why all the women go crazy about him. When he's around, I'm just an old suit of clothes. Where's the sheriff go in such a hurry?
I'm afraid you talk too much.
Yeah, be careful. You're liable to break that pretty neck of yours.
A little clumsy of me.
Doesn't take you very long to get acquainted, does it?
Like this.
I'm not going to stand by and let any saddle tramp come along thinking he'd paw you.
And I'll not have you talk to me that way.
All right. If that's the way you want it, go ahead. Do what you want to.
What in the world got into him?
Your friend sort of gave him the idea that you were pretty much of a ladies' man. Dave has a little jealous streak.
I see. Hey, Fuzzy, come here.
Yeah. Oh, I just remember. I got a little unfinished business I got to take care of. I'll be right back.
Someday I'm going to hang him up by his whiskers and slap some sense into him.
Steve Kinney for sheriff. What'd I tell you?
Yeah, you called a turn, all right. He's doing the same thing he did in Oak Bluff.
There's no doubt that lawlessness is on the increase in this county. And I don't think there's any of us that are quite satisfied with the way the present sheriff is doing his job.
No, I don't think
The future of any country depends on the way its laws are enforced. And I'd like a chance to prove that I can do a better job. I'm asking all my friends to help elect me sheriff. Move up to the bar, boys. It's all on the house. What do you want?
The lone rider just rode up outside. I recognize his horse.
Is he coming in here?
There he is now.
Get rid of him and fast.
Ooh, what do you think you're doing?
Bart and give Vic a hand. It looks like he needs it.
I hate to spoil your fun, but we like to keep this town quiet and peaceful.
Yeah, I've noticed what a peace-loving man you are.
Don't get in the lather, Sheriff. You're not fooling anyone.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that you sent this man here to break up my rally and to do everything that he can to keep me from being elected sheriff.
You think fast, don't you, Kinney?
Well, I managed to get along. And you can pull every trick like this in the book, and I'll still beat you.
I'm not pulling any tricks to win the election. He's no friend of mine. And the less I see of him around here, the better I like it.
Well, that seems to take care of that. Suppose you and me have a private talk.
Why, sure. I don't care who I talk to. Hey, stick around close, will you, Fuzzy? Well, what's on your mind?
Maybe you have some idea as to what it is.
Well, maybe I have, but you asked for the powwow. Go ahead and talk.
All right. What's your business here in Kingston?
That's it.
What do you mean, that's it?
I mean, it's my business.
A lot of people have learned that it doesn't pay to hunt for trouble with me, and they've learned it the hard way.
I'm not stubborn. I'm always willing to learn.
You might find it more pleasant to learn that I can do a lot of good for anyone who's willing to be friendly and cooperate.
I don't know. I'm particular about who I'm friendly with.
You can't go in there. They're having a private talk.
Let me out.
Cool off, Fuzzy. We're leaving right now. And remember this, Kinney. There hasn't been a smart man yet that hasn't made a mistake sooner or later. You'll make yours. Come on, Fuzzy. Hey, Fuzzy. Stick around and keep an eye on that fellow that started the fight with me. I think he's part of our answer.
What are you planning to do?
I'm going to have a talk with the sheriff, even if he doesn't like me. Hello, Dave.
What do you want?
Now, keep your shirt on. There's no reason for you to fly off the handle with me. I just want to ask you a few questions, that's all.
Go ahead. Maybe I'll answer them.
Did you ever stop to think why Steve Kinney wants your job?
I can't imagine why anybody would want it, including myself. The outlaws have gotten so bad around here lately, they've been running me ragged.
And Steve Kinney wants the job just when it's getting tough. That doesn't make sense, does it?
Do you know him?
Yeah, I know him. He's not very happy about it either.
Look, you're a stranger in town. Just why are you so interested in who's elected sheriff?
I'm not interested in who wins the election. I've got my own fish to fry. It just happens we're both against the same man. I figure we can help each other.
Well, much obliged, but I'll try to get along without your help.
All right, if that's the way you feel about it. I wish you all the luck in the world. You'll need it. Steve Kinney's a very smart hombre.
Hello.
Well, hello.
What's the matter? Lost your last friend?
Yeah, something like that. I told Fuzzy to stick around here, but he seems to have wandered off someplace.
Oh, hello, Dave. I'd like to ask a favor of you.
Sure, Dan, sure. Anything at all.
Well, I'm making a trip tomorrow to buy some cattle, and I'll be carrying quite a lot of money, and I'd appreciate it if you and one or two of your deputies would ride with me to the railroad.
Sure, anything to oblige.
Don't be a stranger. Ride out our way sometime.
You don't have to say that more than once.
Don't forget.
Righto.
Here's some grub for you, Joe. How's everything?
Lonesome. I don't see why I have to stay out here all the time.
Oh, it won't hurt you to stay around here for a while. We'll take care of that gabby old goat as soon as we can. Don't forget, Steve's got an election, and that's more important than keeping you happy. What's that?
Probably a coyote. A lot of them around here.
Well, I'll be seeing you.
I've been looking all over tarnation for you.
Well, that makes it mutual. Where have you been?
I've been keeping my eye on that fellow Vic Dawson like you told him to.
What'd you find out?
Well, I trailed him packing a sack of grub out of town, and who do you think he's taking it to?
Little Bo Peep.
No, he's taking it to that bandit that I recognized on the stage. He's hiding off up here in the hills, and Vic Dawson's packing grub up to him.
That means that Vic Dawson is Steve Kinney's handyman, which means that Kinney's in back of that attempted holdup.
Yeah, we know that, but, well, the townsfolk believe it.
Well, don't worry about that. I'll grab that fellow, make him talk, and I'll have Kinney just exactly where I want him.
Evening, gents.
Good evening. Hey, who's that fellow? I've seen him around before.
Me too, but I don't just recollect where or when.
Well, never mind him. I want to get my hands on that man of Kinney's.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Can't we wait till morning? I'm tired and I'm hungry.
Fuzzy, you don't have to go at all. Just tell me how to get there.
All right, I'll draw you a map. Now, there's a road that goes due north out of town. Now, you take that road, and just before you get to the shack, there's a gully.
Yeah.
But it's not too deep. You can cross it.
Sure.
And then you go up on the other side.
coming back to town with me and explain the tie-up between you and Steve Kinney.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, think it over on your way to town. You'll tell me about Kinney or hang.
Hang?
Well, that's what they do with hold-up men where I come from. Here. Go ahead.
Find him in the dark. What'll we do with his horse? We'll have to leave him with Joe. We got to get back and report to Steve.
If we can stall Cameron until after election, I can handle things. You say Joe's got Cameron's horse?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll do it.
May do what?
I've been tipped off that Kirby's leaving town in the morning with some money. Now, here's what we'll do. Now, you boys take care of Dave Barstow and that deputy. I'll ride on ahead.
That must be them.
Keep going, John!
He's dead. Cold-blooded murder.
Rocky committed this murder in cold blood. That's got to be a horror. Why, Rocky, take him out of here and bring him up.
Hey, you gotta get out of town right away.
What's the matter with you? You crazy?
Everyone else in town's crazy except me. They think you murdered Dan Kirby.
I did.
Yeah.
Hey, man, there he is.
Hey, take my horse and get going while you got a chance.
I don't know what it's all about, Fuzzy, but I'm not running away.
Let's get him. Come on.
Don't crowd me. That's far enough, Sheriff.
I charge you with the murder of Dan Kirby and call on you to surrender in the name of the law.
What makes you think I did it?
I found your horse last night after the murder. You had to make your escape on foot.
I was ambushed last night. My horse was stolen.
You don't expect anyone to believe that, do you?
Least of all you. I fell into a trap and it took me all last night to get back into town. I don't know anything about any murder.
Will you surrender, or is somebody going to get hurt?
I'll not resist arrest, but I won't turn over my gun out here.
All right. Come to my office. Now, the law takes over from here. And I'll fight just as hard to protect the prisoner as I will to take him in. You stay out here.
That sort of takes him out of circulation.
That's not enough. I'll make sure that he hangs by law or otherwise.
Thanks. Would you like to take a look at the man you murdered?
I haven't murdered anyone. better be able to prove that.
Stay out here.
Dave, where is he?
Come on. Better lock you up.
Boys, I'm awfully sorry that no liquor can be sold on Election Day. And I hope none of you'll be mad, but the law says that no saloon can sell liquor on Election Day, and I believe in obeying the law.
I don't know how the rest of you feel, but that's a kind of a sheriff for my money.
Mine too,
Well, thanks for the vote. Thank you. Thanks to you.
You're just as good as in. You got all them suckers eating out of your hand.
I didn't think so when Cameron showed up.
What are we going to do about him?
Oh, it'll be easy enough to take care of him when we get rid of Dave Barstow.
I'm bringing in some votes for you.
Well, that's good. Gonna need all I can get.
Why aren't you in town getting votes?
Oh, everybody knows me. Figure they ought to know whether they want me for sheriff or not.
Well, just the same, I'm taking you back with us.
I'm feeling desperate, and I demand to be locked up before I hurt somebody.
Go on, get out of here.
Yeah, don't push me around. I demand to be locked up. Hey, you won't lock me up, I'll lock myself up. Give me them keys.
Come on, if you don't get out of here, I'm going to throw you out, understand?
Throw me out.
Yes. All right, so you want to play me, eh? When you're going out of here, I'm going to throw you on the back of your neck. All right. I'll lock you up, and I'll throw the key away.
Well,
Come here.
here.
All right, now get played. Come here. I'm going in there. Come on.
Take it easy on my pants, will you? This is the best pair of pants I got. I decided I don't want to go to jail. Come on out, Rocky.
Come back here. I'm tired of being gentle with you. Yes. Now,
Hey, that's it.
you're smart. Be quiet. Smart. Be quiet. What do you mean? Smart? Hey, let me out of here. You got me. Out.
Hey, she's all clear.
Hey, there's Dawson.
Yeah, if I had him alone, I'd get the truth out of him.
Hey, what have you got there? Oh, there's a piece of quartz picked up.
Hey, that gives me an idea. You let Dawson see this, and he'll follow you wherever you want to take him.
I don't want to take him no place. He'd just love to get a chance to get me out where he could kill me.
He won't harm you if he thinks you're going to take him to a rich gold mine.
I know, but what's he going to do when he finds out I ain't got no rich gold mine? Nothing but this piece of rock.
Now, don't worry about it. I'll be there to take over.
Yeah?
Just take him up to that old shack over on Boulder Creek Canyon.
Where'd you say you'd be?
Boulder Creek Canyon. And don't forget it.
What do you got there?
Oh, it's you.
Let me see it. Where'd you get this?
Would you like to know? It's gold, ain't it?
I can't say for sure.
I thought it was.
Wait a minute. It's hard to tell from just one small piece like this.
Well, I know there's a lot more of it, but if it ain't gold, no sense bothering with it.
I may be wrong. It might be gold.
You think so?
Yeah, if I was you, I'd get more of it. Then it'd be easier to tell.
Will you be here when I get back?
Sure.
Now, if this is what we think it is, we better keep it quiet.
That's right. Don't tell a human being.
That's why I'm telling you.
Stay out of town till after the election. I'm tired of hiding out in those hills. And if I run out that gabby goat, I'll...
Cameron broke out of jail.
How did that happen?
Who cares how it happened? Go dig up some of the boys and find Cameron, and don't bring him back. I told you to stay out of here, but as long as you didn't go along with Bart.
Oh, hello. Where'd you come from?
Is this where you found that gold?
Well, now, I thought it was, but I don't seem to recollect.
Well, why don't you look around?
There's no sense in me wearing myself out when I don't seem to know where to look.
Don't you get foxy with me.
I told you I forgot.
Now, listen, you better start doing some remembering, or I'm going to break your neck. Now, get busy and do some remembering.
Remembering. Well, let me see if I can do a little remembering, right? Remembering, you said, huh?
Yeah, and hurry up about it.
Pull up, all of you. Sheriff, I've got a proposition to make to you.
I'll listen, but I won't guarantee a thing.
Come closer and alone. What's your proposition? I'd like to have you give me an hour to prove that I didn't kill Dan Kirby. If I don't do it, I'll surrender to you.
Suppose I don't agree.
You try and take me and somebody will be hurt.
How do I know this is on the level?
I could have gotten away, couldn't I? My pal Fuzzy Jones is in a tough spot. He's in danger of losing his life if I don't get there pretty soon.
I believe he's telling the truth.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know. It's
Now, look, Sheriff,
We'll go with you.
Well, that's fine. You'll soon find out whether I'm telling the truth or not.
What do you expect that gold quartz to do? Come on, jump up in your lap? Get busy and find it.
Well, I've looked everywhere I can think of, but
Listen, I'm through fooling around with you, and so help me, I'll break
Hey,
you.
now, let's don't get too hasty about these things. It's a good thing you got here. I'd have murdered him.
I'm giving you a chance to save your life with a little conversation.
What kind of conversation?
I want you to tell me who put my horse where Dan Kirby was murdered.
What makes you think I know?
I know, so talk.
You're crazy. Wait a minute. Am I going to fight the whole bunch or just you?
Just me.
Then I've got nothing to worry about.
You ready to talk?
Yeah, I've had enough.
All right. Folks, Vic Dawson has a little message for you. Start talking.
Steve Kinney planted his horse near where he killed Kirby. He wanted him to get the blame. He wanted him out of the way.
I'm awfully glad.
So am I.
Rocky, count me in too.
Well, that makes it unanimous.
His horse is over here.
They got Vic!
How wonderful. I don't know when I ever saw anyone so brave.
I wouldn't say that, but when I got a job to do, I like to get it over with.
All right, come on, get on your horses. Don't let him get away and don't let anyone inside. Going someplace?
No, and thanks for saving me the trouble of coming out to get you.
That's quite all right. Vic Dawson has told us the whole story. As a matter of fact, they're holding him prisoner outside. You're going to join him.
Well, I suppose you think you're going to make me. Maybe you're taking on more of a job than you can handle.
I don't think so.
I do.
I said we're leaving.
All right. Do you mind if I have a drink first?
No, go ahead, but make it snappy. You don't have to worry any more about the election, boys. I've only got one candidate for sheriff.
Well, I see you got Dawson.
Yeah, and Kinney, too. He's inside, dead.
You certainly saved me a lot of trouble.
Well, I'll save you a lot more, Dave, if you'll turn your prisoners over to Fuzzy and I to take back to Oak Bluffs.
Do they try the same thing over there?
Yes, but they were a little more successful.
Well, I'll sure be glad to see the last of them.
I'd go to all that trouble of building myself up as a hero. You have to drag me out of town right away. What's the idea?
Well, it's smart to leave when you stand ace high. You can't always be that lucky.
Nothing. Who said it was luck?
We'll be back in time for the wedding, Gale.
Is that a promise?
That's a promise.
You bet it is.
I'll take him, too.